All right, folks, welcome to the next episode. I don't know. I think it's 9. Whatever. It's in the description, but this is the battle that we somewhat teased at the end of the last episode, but I wanted to load in. I think it should go well. I guess we'll have to actually play it and see. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but actually I do. So, I think we have a 2-to-1 advantage. It's late in the day here. There are, let's see, did they change it? 6. Okay, 3-pointer there, and I thought they were equal last time I was here. Sometimes they do change the amounts when you load back in from a different save. That's why we try to play the battles through, but we have 2 divisions of the 3rd Corps. So Smith in line. This is the battle. I kind of glossed right over that, but it's another battle of St. Louis. This one is on not the Louisville map. It's been a whole thing in this campaign. When I played Louisville, I got a random one. When I played St. Louis before, I got Louisville. Now I'm on Louisville again, and I got this one. I actually don't like mind it. It's close enough. It's good enough. But the CSA has to come in. Either they're gonna, well, they come in anywhere over here. We get the general idea, but we know where they have to go. It would seem like if they're over here, they're more likely to hit the Proud Peak. We're doing this all upside down so that we can see it from our point of view, but that's about that. We're gonna send Pleasanton out. I think, you know what? Well, there is a chance if they came in on this road that they actually will go up this road. As silly as that is, I feel like on average, going that way, we should find some. And if we move nope, this is Shriver. If we move Shriver down here, it should tell us a little bit more. We might be able eventually, yeah, maybe move Shriver here and then move Pleasanton over, just to see if it does come from that direction. The attack comes from that direction. But I'm kind of hoping that we just detect where it's coming from and then we flex our reinforcements there. All right, so we don't, well, we do need line back eventually. But, okay, Smith, yes, your division commander. So you're going to give orders to Pleasanton, so get on up there. And I guess Gibbon has opted to hang out in the woods here and be nice and hard to find. A man after my own heart. I cannot blame him at all. All right, we're going to speed it up a little bit, but you don't have to go too crazy since we're waiting for both the division commanders who, even though I think they tend to be small groups of mounted folks, they tend not to be too quick about it. Pleasanton, look, I think if I put him here, it should get visibility over there. I'm pretty sure that's true. Shriver. Is there any world where they come in on this road? Yeah, I mean there is. It doesn't look like it's the most likely chance, but we'll move down there. And, why don't we move you up even further? Did I just catch a glimpse of something over here? Did I? I might have. Maybe I'll put you all on pause to save your time. I think that would be nice, and then bring it back in when I have something. All right, so I see something, so I'm going to stop you. Usually the AI has gotten really good about leading with its cavalry rather than its artillery. I don't think there's anything I modded. It just seems like they're acting the way that they should. It's not always been this way. So, all right, we see him there. What we got to do now is pull Pleasanton back here. We could start moving Smith backwards. Shriver knows, he knows what he knows. I'm gonna pull him back probably back to here, right? Pull him back there. Line we can bring back here. And then maybe I put you. Oh, I don't know if I want to put you back. Are you kidding me? Oh, that was actually probably a good move. Yeah, I don't think that they were gonna gonna win that battle. I was a little surprised they took it rather than just dropping it, because they had to attack into a force that was almost twice their size, and you know, one position was fortified. There was a fair amount of cover in the other. I mean, there was a chance, I think, if they ran straight up the road, used the woods to cover their attack, got in there and dashed, I think it was Lion's force, who I think has seen combat before. I don't remember if who we were up against had seen combat yet, but I think that we would have been. I think they would have offered some defense, and then once whoever the other division commander was, Gibbon was the corps commander. It doesn't matter, but it was all. That's right. It's WASD, not the arrow keys. Yeah, it was all stuff over here. I think it was Tillman, who I don't know that I've seen him in combat yet. Hey, the AI took foot cav. That is a good thing. They should be. Okay. Gibbon's division. Look, why don't we go with skilled cartographers? It gives us speed, which is always going to be good, and early on it's usually pretty easy to level up if we put them in scouting. We have this weird situation where, okay, so Gibbon's got a little bit of readiness. Here, we're just going to move him out of the way here. My concern is Reynolds doesn't. Like, Reynolds can do one more engagement before he goes into the red, and then he's not going to be able to do much of anything. I would kind of like to deal with those two divisions before they get their... Oh, you know why nothing's moving? Yeah, because I haven't pressed play. I wish I could say that's the first time I've done that, but that's like... It's the norm here. I don't know, probably concentrating against Tillman's division. It says he's retreating. Doesn't look like... It looks like he's actually advancing. Ah, yes, the old retreat by advance. Yes. Secret weapon. Well, we might end up going back to that battle, if not that battlefield. Storage target. I feel like Austin Powers. I'll just say yes, please. Come on. We'll send you in as well, Lion. We'll just sit here and collect our sick beats. But anyways, it is only August 22nd. The battles have come quickly in this campaign. You know, I say that, and I've had that in other playthroughs, and then there's just like summers where the AI won't fight at all. And I'll pretty much move up on it. But wait a minute. Why is Reynolds retreating? It's got to be a readiness thing. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So Tillman's pulling back. You know, Reynolds said he needed supply. He did not. But, Third Corps, what do we got? We got Flying Column, we got Embedded Reporters. I don't know, man. Do we just need readiness? Yes, let's get some flags going. This is like real slow. Yeah, and those two are both lagging. I don't know, maybe I just hold here. We need Reynolds to come back. I could push Tillman a little bit further, but probably at the expense of putting them down. And because in this playthrough, Missouri is CSA, it's going to be enemy territory, and that means it's going to take longer for our readiness to get back. Yeah, so I just have concerns about that one. Smith would benefit from some scouting, but I don't want him to be late if I need him as reinforcement. So we might hold on that idea. Oh, loss of scaling kicked out. Let's kick it back on here. All right, so now we're at 60 frames rather than 19. That's nice. All right. Yeah. So here, it's Casey. It's actually Sheridan because he got promoted. I think that's how that happened. I don't remember how that happened. People got moved around. It's been a lot. Yeah. So here's our Kentucky campaign. It started out well enough, but it's one of those, well, we need it to end well. Right, Gibbons is there, or Gibbs is there. Gibbs, Gibbons, Gibbs. I'm never gonna remember. All right. Let's move you, but let's move you over. Yeah, river movement is fine. 3rd Division, well, let's just start out by giving you skilled cartographers. We're also going to try to cross you. Okay. Very good. Burns is here, yeah, not in scouting, but he is on friendly territory, so he gets a bonus there, and then... Alright, they're scouting, but they're not. Alright, that's alright. I think the 2nd Corps here under McClellan... Yes. Yes, he's entered... Well... Some of his divisions are here, right? McClellan's division isn't McClellan's, it's Ormsby Mitchell's. And then I think maybe we'll have the 6th. You know, I don't know if McClellan's troops have seen combat. I don't know if they have. I know McDowell has, though he hasn't been featured. Actually, it's not McDowell, it's Palmer's Corps, the 1st Corps, where they've seen lots of battle. Certainly to open the campaign, we got to get him back in battle here. But McClellan is... taking his time getting the pieces all set here, but maybe so this is like an army and a division, and then maybe 2 more division. Oh no, there's 3 things here, right? Loring, Division of the Potomac, and then something to Shenandoah. It might be an army, so I'm not really sure how many we're up against there. If you want an overview, I'd like an overview of what the heck is going on in this campaign. Yeah, I mean, they have... CSA definitely has the national support, but we've really... In the first... I don't know, the first summer here, we've really punched down their national morale. I think that's because we've been winning on the battlefield. Military experience still isn't on our side, but yeah, battles won, that was us. Casualties, we've actually inflicted about 50% more than we've taken. And so while they do have a lot more loyal states and they have a higher population, we still have more. And we'll see if we're able to use that. I've not neglected, look, for those of you, I know it's a big part of it, who are, you know, worried about the lack of naval action. It's coming, but we need to get fleets that have a perk, and the perk would be the one that allows us to take forts. And once I can take forts, I can start going after, well, wait for it, the forts. We're going to look for some fort ports. I think isn't there a fort here? Why is it not showing up? Have I ever played this game before? Isn't there a fort here? Well, it doesn't matter. That's not a fort port, but there are others. I believe this is one. This is rough because it's actually a level 2 fort. I think when we take that, though, we get Moorhead. I think that's what that is. And then there are a couple of others. I think maybe Port Royal down in Charleston. I don't know. It's a ways off. It's most likely something that'll get seriously under... Why is it so... Oh, yeah, it's at 1x. Most likely get underway in 1862, but, you know, if we can do more of the legwork now, why not? I'm actually thinking about moving the 1st Corps up. Right? You know, it's all green... Well, you know, McDowell's always the slow one, but... In terms of readiness... You know what? Patterson is more than ready. He's got combat experience. We'll let him move first, because he's more able to get his readiness back. Meade is doing... Okay, we're going to take Meade out of scouting. And we'll move him up because he has the next most readiness. First Corps HQ can move up just because. There's no real reason, but... yeah. Alright, that's done. Clones there. Denver, where are you go? Okay, you're going to go back to friendly ground. You're nervous. My goodness, man. So really, McClellan's Corps is not a corps. It's a division and soon to be a second. I mean, they're big divisions. It's just the way I've done the OOB. Because we were doing a regimental campaign, we have visible divisions on the map rather than corps, so there's just a lot more to move around on the map. So I was trying to keep some of the map decluttered, but I think it's inevitable that it does get cluttered. I know from the previous campaign, that was the first regimental campaign at all that I've played on the entire map, and it got cluttered, but a small price to pay. All right, if the Ohio Squadron is done here, let's find... Okay. First of all, yeah, let's go over here, because this actually kind of matters. What do we know about these? I think, yeah, I thought these divisions were actually under strength relative to us. So that's 2,500. We have about 2,500. My goodness, what is wrong? 12,500. 93 and 8750. So we're looking at about 18,000. About a 50% advantage in manpower. Tillman looks like he's out of the picture. I feel like if we fight them and win, we might be able to push it back for good, but then we're going to be stranded here for a while. Well, I could let them waste their money, build the supply depot, stock it, and then attack when Reynolds, if and when Reynolds is ready. Man, Reynolds is... Is he also missing troops here? I don't know. What is up here? 1, 2... Some of these regiments just look... Well, they're not under strength. I don't know. His division's just smaller. I mean, still an 8,000 man division, but anyways, and I don't think they've seen combat. This seems small. Maybe they were in combat. I don't think we had the weapons. It was between episodes not long ago when I parceled out the weapons I have. Well, yeah, Springfield rifle muskets. Okay, so we could get what? Probably about 5 regiments with that. 2 with Mississippi's. 5. So actually, there's a little bit we could do on the weapons front, but maybe we'll. I'm not gonna do it on video here because probably straining people's patience as it is. So with the glacial progress of things, right? But that, I don't know. Do I really keep playing it at 1x? I don't mean to, but I guess it's just there's so much to look at. I don't really want to miss anything. All right, so we got a little bit of aggression here, and it looks like we sent them packing probably to Harrodsburg. All right, I thought, yeah, Bowling Green is probably wishful thinking. That's isn't that this one? Yeah, that's this one. Yeah, that is wishful thinking. At some point, the 4th Corps here has to push off. This is another corps. You know, I did not think of taking that squadron and taking it against Deschler. You know what? Since I think we've kind of dealt with the threat on the Brownwater Navy up there by St. Louis, I think we could actually use it more here. But I do not want to send these guys into fighting yet. They're pretty new, so it's going to be harder for them to get back readiness. And if you're low and you use readiness, you lose more than if you start with more of your readiness. That's the gist of it here. So, all right, Patterson moved up. He has no problem, so we're just going to move him all the way up to Culpeper, and we'll say, all right, you want us out? You can try to knock us out, but if they don't, we're going to sit here. We're going to move up Meade with him because Meade has been moving, but he hasn't lost any readiness for it. McDowell. McDowell. Yeah. All right, project time. Do we have anything? Civ order. Counter propaganda. No, propaganda. This is one we want. We want propaganda. Civ order I like too early on because it kind of insulates you against the difficulties of war, casualties and raiding and that stuff. Cavalry form 2. I don't need horse artillery, so we're not going to do that one. But yeah, we'll definitely take a bump to support. Are my subsidies that I want up? Yeah. I think I'm on Tariff Act. I am. I have another month. So pretty much around the beginning of October, we'll be able to take our next policy. Do I want to attack here? feel like I do. Oh. Meade is the one that's actually moving, although Patterson's supposed to be. The Confederacy beat me to the Tariff Act. Alright, I think... Wow, these guys are in a rough supply situation. Not really because of that, but for other reasons. I want to move around. I want to get the 6th Corps starting to move to this pivot spot. And we will replace them by Ormsby Mitchell, who's the readiest of McDowell. Rousseau can stay right where he is. He's gonna have to come out of scouting. He's gonna have to come out of scouting pretty soon. As nice as it is to almost have him up in the green, we can't really rely on Ormsby Mitchell, although that's a 10,000 man division. Maybe we can. But I think we're just going to have to accept maybe slower readiness recovery through lower intelligence gathering as the price to pay there. Alright, but that gives us 3 corps in Virginia. 2 in Kentucky, or 2 trying to be in Kentucky, and then 1 trying to be in Missouri. So that's it with CCC credit rating. There's not too much else we can do. It's going to be a struggle just to equip our forces in the field with more than 6-pound field guns and more than mixed muskets or 1842s. So we will try. You're not quite there, but look. You are, and look, since you're first, yeah, you can stay scouting, because I don't have to worry about your reinforcement time. This guy really, is Burns really hurting? No, he's not really hurting for supply. Alright, 5th Corps is there. Are you guys really, you're that bad? You are that bad. I mean, it's a lot of forces in a small spot, too. So, whatever, we'll build a depot by Louisville, by the river, by the railroad. If that doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. We'll try to spread out a bit here. I don't think it's going to make the difference, but we can hope. Oh. We'll do that one. Cool. Is Walker's division really here? He might be. He might be. If he is, I'm kind of thinking don't worry about it. Just stay with the supply depot. See if we can do something with Deschler or draw Walker over to us. We want to get into Kentucky because we want to get into Tennessee. When we get into Tennessee, we want to get Nashville. And Nashville is kind of the gateway to the South. I mean, you can go to Atlanta if you want, Alabama, Mississippi, go to Western Tennessee, Missouri. That's all later stuff. All right, I'm a little... Man, I really don't want to put Lion into combat. Because I know as soon as he goes into combat, he's going to go down into the red, so... yeah, I think we have to just eat that. I don't really care if Gibbon shows up late or at all. I don't really need him on the battlefield. Doesn't have any cavalry to do the scouting, though I think he is kind of like cavalry. All right. Tell me we're building a supply depot. We are building a supply depot. Yes. Smack Deschler's division. Smack it. Yes. One of the few ways that naval engagements can interact with land forces. Keep going. Do I trust Burns on his own to deal with Walker? Because I might just send Casey and Lovell down to deal with whatever the Ohio Squadron finds here. Maybe we go for the supply depot. Hope for the best. But let's move. Looks like the river should be ours. So we'll do that. Lovell. Yeah, but let's move quickly. I don't know how far the squadron's going to be able to push up here. At a certain point, it gets too shallow and you can't push your squadrons up any further. But we'll wait. This can't be right. Yeah, I mean, we just saw Deschler's division. We just pushed it off here. But we'll see if we burn their supply depots, if that'll change anything. Again, this intelligence may well be wrong because of the way I've modded the campaign. It's harder to get accurate intelligence unless you actually do the things you need to do to find out what's going on. And that requires a cost, and as you can see, strapped for money, so we kind of just have to wing it. And on manpower, are we... Yeah, I mean, we're ahead, but not meaningfully. Man, their national... What is wrong with their national morale? What's going on here for the CSA? Battles... Okay, how's it going? Through town occupation. Yeah, I mean, they are supposed to be sensitive to that. But they've gained it through state support. It says they've lost it through private wealth. I don't know if that's true. Seceded states. For us, state support has boosted us by about the same amount. We lost a lot through the Northern Industrialization Policy. We lost more from Old Dominion. Thank you for those. Through battles, though, we've actually gained... Right, because we've won more. That makes sense. Oh, battles objectives. Through battles objectives versus through battles. That's weird. Alright, so I don't see anything here. Now, is this is Casey and Lovell. Yeah, I'll take this fight. Yeah. Where are we at? We're at less than a half hour in, so I can do that and then call it an episode. We'll see. I mean, it looks like the name of the game is going to be the stall 9 hours, so. But that tells us that Deschler was not up, you know, deep into Ohio on his way to the Great Lakes to do fill in the blank. Who knows? But yeah. Walker might actually be up there, but all right, so we're back on this map. It looks like now we have the great privilege of and we get to attack, and there's a lot they want us to address. My goodness, this is not what you want to see. Okay, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so reinforcements will show up later. With those reinforcements, we should be in good shape. We just got to kind of hold on and not lose on objectives. So it's 8. Is that a 5, 8, 16? That's a lot of objectives. and 6 is 22. So 11 is a tie, more than 11. So that would be 11, like right there, or the top 3. So you need 4 to make the other side come to you. All right, well, that's good to know. Whoa. Detach you, sure. Detach you, put you on evade, and press start. Yes. Sykes, throw out some skirmishers. And right over here, this will be our first stop. We'll send Sheridan up with you, and I think for all of you, I'll put you back on pause until I have something to show you. So I haven't found him, but interesting news. Jackson just reported arriving, and the scouts reported him arriving up here, which means if we can quickly concentrate against, if we can find them and concentrate against them, if they are down here, we might be able to, if not knock the CSA totally out, we might be able to set them back before our reinforcements arrive. So keep an eye on that. Like I said, I'll bring you back when I have something a little bit more substantive to show you. All right, so we found the initial force. It's a bit of a question of whether we can attack them and beat them before Jackson arrives, or if we ought to take up some defensive positions and just wait for our own reinforcements. In terms of where ours could come from, it looks like, and on the campaign map, it kind of makes sense that they would only come from our direction, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. We know where they are, and okay, so we don't really need Sykes up here. Which is I probably need him back there. I did give him a stop order, which he might get before he gets that order to move. But we can start moving up the rest of the divisions. But we might put you back on pause because I'm not entirely sure here. I think the estimates of both of their forces were about the same. Because the only other thought I had was maybe we'll just go fight Jackson first, defeat him, and then turn and deal with this, or fight him somewhere else and then move to take the other victory points. That was an idea. Then force them to come to me. It seemed a bit too cute, and it seemed like it would draw us away from our friendlies, which is why I wasn't really all that enthusiastic about it. All right, yeah, I'm gonna put you back on pause to wait, what? What? What are they doing? Now this is interesting, but that was also the area I was gonna go. They say it's a ridge, like it's a very, very subtle one. It's rough because there's no road here, right? It's the one that they have over there. The roads here make it much easier to concentrate these forces and attack that way, but we'll see. So this is weird. Even though we didn't have this as an entry point, our forces just came through it. So I don't know if they were supposed to come through a different one that got blocked, but Lovell showed up really early, like 4 or 5 hours. I think like 4 or 5 hours after we started, if that. And so here you can see Sheridan's force. It's pretty much, yeah, ready to deal with this. Sykes was up here scouting. Now, what we can do is try to play for the end of the day redeploy because it's getting late. Sheridan's here. We're going to move Sheridan down here. Lovell. All right, let's take your cav, detach it, move it out like that. And then just start some of your troops moving forward. And maybe we can connect the two deployment bubbles. And that means that overnight, Lovell's group is going to be able to redeploy forward. Because it's 5:30 now. I mean, there's a chance the way they're moving, they could get here. But the force that entered here took, what was that? 4 or 5 hours just to get here and get lined up. And that was with really not much in the way of stops. So Plummer's 2nd Brigade, I don't care where you go. Just go over here, get moving. Sykes, we might actually be able to send through the woods up here. Keep an eye on the left. And honestly, that's probably what I could do with Nagley. Pretty sure I could do that. Okay, we're bringing the big guns up. I don't hear, I don't hear us taking any fire or anything like that, which is good. All right, put you back on pause. All right, so you missed absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's day 2. Now we got to bring back, here, we're going to call back our scouts over here. I don't know where Sykes scouts went, but we got the redeploy forward. What I've done is quite odd, but I checked, I had some time. And so I checked through the weapons on both of these divisions, the infantry. Well, actually, I checked on everybody. The infantry weapons are bad. It looks like maybe 2 out of every 3, and certainly more than half of the regiments still have mixed muskets. Probably should have maybe actually rearmed them, but I didn't know who was going to be in a fight. It doesn't matter. It's over. We're in the fight now. So what that means is we have to close the distance. And, you know, you can fight on a long front if you want, but I'm thinking I might just have to kind of barrel along this road and find whoever I can and just repeatedly hit the same spot at close range. If it's a long line and it's all spread out over this open ground and ends up being a shootout, we're in trouble. I don't know what kind of weapons they have. I could find out, but I don't feel like doing like that. The good weapons are usually in the cavalry, and it looked like some of the artillery. All right, so not so much there, but then there they have a 10-pound Parrot. Okay, so half of that battery is 10-pound Parrots. That's fine. 12-pound howitzer, 6-pound field gun, 3-inch ordnance. So about half the artillery is pretty good. Maybe that's slightly better on average than the quality of our infantry. So I liked this triangle because it gave me a number of options. If I saw Jackson up here, I was thinking of maybe just turning my entire force and attacking him if he deployed on my flank. I don't see anything. Uh, I could try to bring Sykes into this fight, but I kind of want to find out where Jackson is. But I just intend to move forward. So I think without any further stem winding, we're just going to have to go ahead and get into it. And yes, we'll send Sykes. All right, so Sykes' skirmishers are coming back. I see them now. But he might try to capture some objectives for us. We are behind for 2 reasons. Victory points is one, and the other is just morale. They just have a lot more morale than we do. I guess it's to be expected, considering we're fighting on their home turf. It looks like they have a little tiny stone wall here. I'm not enthusiastic about fighting that. But otherwise, it looks like it's mostly fences. And that should be fine. Looks like maybe this battery's actually taken some shots. So we'll just move the entire battery up. I assume that once the infantry gets moving, we're going to find everything that we need to. Abbott, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hold, but we'll see. I think we're going to move you up here. Dimmick, we're going to do the same. I think we're going to try to send Matthews up and kind of just be a big old left hook here. For Lovell, we're probably going to take a similar stance. Move you there. Maybe move Plummer there and then Paul here. And so we'll try to get them moving while we want to be fighting. But the idea is to pretty much move up to where they were just ordered to. Nagley, we got to do something with. I guess he can move down here and he can get shot at by artillery. It's not a great use of your cavalry, but I kind of want to deal with anything in this creek bed here. But I think the idea is to come on down, kick out some skirmishers, and then advance as quickly as we can. Whoops. Alright. There we go. Good advice. You never want to fall behind. And this may be another case where my infantry just outrun my artillery, and artillery line of sight, to some degree it's like artillery in the actual Civil War. It can be quite picky. It's also, you know, I don't think the experience is the key issue, but wow. Artillery rocked those guys. Grab that wheel and push. Alright, Sykes doesn't see anything. I have no. Why would you do that? Yeah, you're not going to do that. You're being squirrely. I think we're going to call you back. We're going to need that morale for our infantry, I think. It's very rough on the morale front. Alright, we'll just give them that as a target. We'll give you that as a target. You move up to wherever you gotta move up to. Abbott, I'm sorry in advance. I wasn't really expecting Abbott to get there that quickly. But I think their job is to push this fence and then kind of stop and protect the right flank of the rest of this force, with Nagley's cavalry coming up on their right. We can actually move them up to Wheeler's Crossroad, and yeah, they're gonna have, I think, a lot on their hands. It is an army in motion. Alright. Move you guys up. That's fine. I don't know why we wouldn't have the option to just advance forward. I thought maybe Sheridan's not close enough. I'm not sure. Alright, Sykes is back here. Lovell ought to move up with his troops at some point. Yeah, the Cad's going to be around. But it took us almost 40 minutes to get here, so let's enjoy it while we can. It does look nice. That's small arms fire, you know. Skirmishers, get up there. Alright, then just take your skirmishers with you. I don't know what else to do. Alright, this line looks ready. So again, this brigade, the idea is to just sit here and either engage or keep at bay that part of their force while we try to jam as many brigades as we can right up here. Keep up, men. Alright, I'm moving Sykes up for the morale buff he will give to friendlies. I saw a battery back here. It looks like it's out of place a bit. Oh yeah, I don't want to fight skirmishers. No, I want to fight them. There we go. I'll just keep force clicking back there. Now, as long as there's no group on this cav's flank, we should be okay. Not too sure what happened there. Alright, you guys can withcall? How about withdraw? Recall your skirmishers. But yeah, with these mixed muskets, we really got to close distance here. Or else we're just going to get melted like that. Taking those artillery volleys, they ain't great, but I think we'll eventually be able to outtrade them. We'll see. Alright, where's this brigade going? Well, oh boy. I guess we might need Sykes' cavalry for other things. Okay, that's them. Oh, they routed already. Yikes. Well, it appears it's getting worse for us, not better. And this might be another case of weapons. I guess I can check. Well, it's not going to tell me their weapons right now. That's okay. Well, we're on the peak of losing here, even though it feels like we have a lot of troops and the relative casualties are close. I think unless we start really crunking them pretty soon, we're gonna lose for reasons. But it feels like a battle we could win, but I'm not sure that we will get there. Yeah, I doubt that melee will go well for us. Alright, so we're going to take this 2nd Brigade. And we're going to sit it right there. Dude, we're losing by more? Yeah, I mean, I get... Oh, this whole brigade just sort of routed. They charged and took, like, no casualties. Well, I think we're going to end up losing a battle than we ought to win. But maybe not. Yeah, we really might have needed better firearms or a better plan. It seems like over here we're making headway. But I think one of the problems we're running into is that we really got to close distance with them, and for some reason, they don't want that to happen. We may actually lose on objective points. Which doesn't often happen, but this is the kind of battle where it could. Are these guys incapable of shooting them? Push through. Push through. We gotta close distance with them. Give them that sweet fucking ball. Man, we cannot route slack. We're shooting slack in the front and in the back at point blank range, and I can't even kill him. Alright, over here on the CSA left, we are closing in. Ooh, I wouldn't give him the bayonet. I wouldn't. It wasn't a real order. Just, Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, I mean, the whole gambit here was that we would take casualties on the way in and then break them, but Not going to happen, I guess. Well, this certainly sets our plans in Kentucky back. Why are you not moving up? What's the hold up here? What a bummer. See, now we're doing some casualties to him. Right? They've actually taken relatively more, but too little, too late. We can still try to do as much damage as we can. I don't see the harm in it. We're already going to have to fall back. So, holy moly, Slack's men. Yo, we got to kill these guys because I don't want to have to fight them again. So, I think our boys also maybe need a little bit more combat experience, maybe a little bit better in some other areas. Well, Anderson's almost broke. Cable is almost broke. He's going to probably break Misner before, but it is what it is. Battle's almost over. And hey, it's almost an hour on the dot. Can you not? Are you not capable of moving? The cavalry has been odd. Lytle just got KIA'd. Oh man, I think we actually broke him in this position too. They have a few regiments here. Slack, I'm guessing, finally got... Oh man. You can see that our forces are scattered. Yeah, we broke Slack. We busted this position here. The only regiment left on their side, it looks like they can fight, is Adams. Yeah, let's try to fight him too. Debrel, they're running. I mean, we'll capture that, but it's we're gonna be out of time on the red timer there at the bottom. So, anyways, that was a fun one. Yeah, I don't know if withdrawn. Okay. Well, let's go in and check the papers and see what actually happened. But yeah, well, to remember to give those guys some weapons upgrade, and maybe the plan was to fail, but I don't know. Lieutenant Colonel King has fallen in disgrace. I don't remember what... I don't think any of them did. I don't know if anybody did poorly. Alright, well, poor Lieutenant Colonel King. Hopefully... Okay, so what happened, really? Very few captured for them. So, for them, it's like 450 out of the war. Okay, for us, it's like 750, 800 probably out of the war. So yeah, that was pretty bad. As no prison camps are available. That actually might be true. Oh, that's right. So I'm not even capturing any because I forgot to build prison camps at the beginning of the war. That does sound like something I would do. But actually, can we build... So there are no prison camps, you're telling me? Is that true? show me our prison camps. I don't need the mines. I don't need farms. I really have no prison camps. All right. Then what we will do... I have to get to double A negative. Well, this is a reminder that you should build your prison camps at the beginning of the war, because otherwise your credit's going to be too terrible to get them back. I don't know. Maybe at some point in the war I could get my credit back to double A negative, but I doubt it. Is lossless going to come back up? Well, I don't think it needs to. So where that sets us back is over here at Maysville City. So the greatest plan ever. Blame Farragut for not being able to get that intelligence to Casey. But yeah, it's bad because we lose. Oh, Burns is now quite possibly in very big trouble. If Walker's able... I shouldn't know what Walker's going to do, but I do. But Burns has troops. I don't know how bad things are. He can go scout because he's not going to be reinforcements for anybody. But we might have another battle on our hands there. Yes, you all did fine, but let's withdraw you back here. You can use the river, I think, because... yeah. But let that be it for this episode. And yeah, I actually did enjoy it. And I hope you did too, and I hope to have you back for the next one.